Very good morning, students. For this lecturing video session, I am going to solve a problem from cycloid. Right? Let me just read out the question to make you understand and what kind of the problem it is. A circle of 40 mm diameter which rolls over a horizontal table without slipping. A point on the circumference of the circle is in contact with the line in the beginning, and after one complete revolution, draw the path traced by the point on the circumference of the circle. Also, draw tangent and normal to the curve at 30 mm from the base line. Right? So, here the object is a circle. Right? And the diameter of the circle is 40 mm. So, given data, the dia, which can be denoted as d, equal to 40 mm. Therefore, the r radius is nothing but d by 2, 40 by 2, radius is 20 mm. So, see, actually this is a straight question, this is a direct question where it says a circle which is rolling over the horizontal table without slipping. In other words, instead of circle, they may specify that a drum which rolls on the ground or a cylinder which rolls on the horizontal line or a straight line, right? So, you should understand the concept, what kind of the question to draw the particular curve, right? So, as far as cycloid is concerned, cycloid is a point traced by a point on the circumference. When the circle rolls over the straight, along the straight line without slipping, that is cycloid. Here, look at here. It is rolls over the horizontal table without slipping. So, only one diameter is given. So, therefore, this particular problem pertains to cycloid, right? Fine. Let me just start constructing the cycloid first. So, to draw, first take the diameter of the circle as 40 mm, which is already given. So, take 20 mm in your compass. 20 mm in your compass, choose any point. So, keep this as C, this point as C. And 20 mm you have already taken your compass, right? So, one leg, keep it on this point and make a circle. Draw a full circle of diameter 40 mm. That means radius 20 mm. So, one complete revolution, this particular rolling circle or the generating circle to complete one full revolution. So, what would be the length where it completes one complete revolution? So, one complete revolution or one complete convolution, which is nothing but the revolution, the other word of revolution is convolution. To complete one full revolution, what would be the length? I taught you in the introduction video, to complete one full revolution, the length could be the circumference length. The circumference length of the circle, length of the circle equal to pi d. Right, which is nothing but 3.14 into diameter of the circle, which is 40. So, which works out 125.6 mm. Right. Now, this is the contact point, right? This is the contact point. From here, take 125.6, the scale, draw a horizontal line. Draw a horizontal line of length 125.6 mm. Right? Fine. Now, I am going to divide the circle into 8 equal parts. Simultaneously, the baseline or the direct line also I am going to divide into 8 equal parts or division. So, draw a horizontal line and a vertical line. So, now I have split this circle into 4 equal divisions, sector 1, sector 2, sector 3, sector 4. Now, I will have to divide further 4 to get 8 equal divisions. Keep your protractor in this manner. Keep your protractor in this manner. Choose 45, right? Choose 45, and similarly here also 45. Now, just keep your scale in this direction, passing through this point and the center of the circle. So, draw a line passing through 45 degree and the center, extend the line. Similarly, here this chosen point, that is 45 degree and the center, passing through the center, right? I have divided this circle into 8 equal divisions. Remember, the contact point, there is a rolling circle and the baseline. This is the contact point, and let me just take this as number 8. The contact point always should be considered as 8. See, as far as cycloid is concerned, the rolling circle or the generating circle rolls in the clockwise direction. Therefore, the numbering should be in the counterclockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Since the rolling circle is rotating in the clockwise direction, numbering should be in the anti-clockwise direction. So, it starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the contact point of rolling circle and the baseline should be always 0.8. Right. Now, draw horizontal line passing through point 1 and 7, 6 and 2, 5, 3 and 4. Draw a parallel line to the baseline of length 125.6. Right. Now, draw a parallel line to the baseline. So, the 7 and 1 pass through the same line, right? Similarly, 6 and 2, which lies on the same line, extend it up to 125.6. Similarly, 5 and 3, which lies on the same line, up to 125.6. Similarly, 4.4, extend it. Now, close it. Right? So, what I have done was, I have divided this rolling circle into 8 equal division. Then, I have given the numbering in the anti-clockwise direction. Since the rolling circle rotates in the clockwise direction, the numbering should be in the counterclockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Then, I have drawn a horizontal line that is parallel to the baseline or the direct line or the straight line. So, passing through 7, 1, 6, 2, 5, 6, 5, 3 and 4. Now, I will have to divide this baseline into 8 equal division. How I can divide this baseline into 8 equal divisions? Now, what I am going to use here, the method which I am going to implement here to divide this into 8 equal division, bisecting method. So, take your compass, keep it at 8, take more than half of this. That means more than half means close to 65 or 70 mm, somewhere here. And now rotate up and down. Similarly, keep it at this point, the extreme point, without changing the radius. Whatever you have taken here, the same radius, cut an arc. Cut an arc. Now, connect this line. Now connect it. Connect this. So this segment has been divided or split into 2 equal divisions. How many divisions we wanted? 8 equal divisions, isn't it? So further, I am going to do the bisecting method. This is the boundary now, right? This is the limit, starting point and end point. Keep your compass here, take more than half and cut an arc above as well as below. Now change the compass here, this is the center, and without changing the radius, cut an arc above as well as below. Now connect both, right? Now 1, 2, 3 divisions. Further, I'll have to divide, totally I have to divide this into 8 equal divisions, isn't it? Right. Now this is the total limit. This is starting point and this is the end point. Stretching the compass more than half and cut an arc above as well as below, and change the center at the extreme right, without changing the radius, cut an arc above as well as below. Now extend this. Same thing you'll have to repeat here. So this is the starting point and this is the end point. Stretch your compass to take more than half, cut an arc above and below, and change the center now in the extreme position and cut an arc above and below, right? Now I have divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 3 more, right? Totally I have to get 8 equal divisions, right? Now this is the limit, that means starting point and end point. Stretch your compass for more than half, cut an arc above as well as below. Without changing the radius, change the center here and cut an arc above and below. Now connect these points, right? So now this is the limit, that is the starting point, end point. Stretch your compass more than half, cut an arc above as well as below. Similarly, now change the center to the extreme right without changing the radius, cut an arc above and below, connect this line. Same thing we'll have to repeat here, that is, this is the starting point and this is the end point. Stretch your compass more than half, cut an arc above as well as below. Without changing the radius, change the center and keep your compass here, cut an arc above and below. Right. Now you count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal divisions obtained. Right. Since I have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here, to differentiate the point for the baseline or the direct line or the straight line, I am giving this as 1 dash, this as 2 dash, this as 3 dash, this as 4 dash, 5 dash, 6 dash, 7 dash and 8 dash. Right. Now extend this line till it intersects the center, till it center. Since I consider the center as C, the center 1 could be C1 and next intersecting point on the center line as C2, next as C3, this as C4, C5, C6, C7 and C8. Right. So I have constructed the path or the center of locus where the rolling circle starts rolling over it. This is the path where the rolling circle or the generating circle rolls on to complete one. When it reaches C8, it completes one revolution or one complete convolution. Right. So as I taught you in the conic section, where the center was fixed and the radius kept varying. As far as special curve, that is the cycloidal curve is concerned, here the center varies. Center varies. Here the center varies and the radius is fixed. Radius is fixed or constant. Why the radius is constant? Because this particular rolling circle or the generating circle is rolling to complete one revolution, right? Therefore, the radius doesn't vary or doesn't change, right? Now take your compass and radius as 20 mm, keeping at C, cut an arc which will exactly cut point here. So this point can be named as point P. Now center varies, radius is constant, right? Change the center. Now your compass is, one leg of the compass is at C1. Now rotate, that means cut an arc on the line 1 because this is C1. So you will have to cut an arc on line 1. Where exactly the line is? Keep your compass here and cut an arc. So this point could be P1. Now center varies without changing the radius because radius is constant. C2, center C2 and cut an arc at point 2 because we have kept the compass at 2, that is C2, and cut an arc at 2 somewhere here, right? Now this point can be considered as P2. Now change the center. This is a center C3 without changing the radius. Cut an arc on line 3 because we have kept the compass at point 3. Therefore, you have to cut the arc on line 3. So line 3 is here. So point 1 is here, point 2 is here. If you rotate the compass, it will cut somewhere here. So this point named as P3. So now change the center. Now C4 without changing the radius, cut an arc, it will intersect here only because this rolling circle radius is 20 mm and this horizontal line is also 20 from the center. Therefore, it cuts here. This is P4. Now keep your compass at C5, cut an arc on line 5. Look at here, 5 and 3 are on the same line, cut an arc somewhere here. So this point could be P5. So now change the center without changing the radius, C6, right? Cut an arc somewhere here. So this could be P6. Now change the radius, change the center without changing the radius. One leg at C7, cut an arc on the corresponding line 7. So 7 1 coincides, lies on the same line, so somewhere here. So this could be P7, right? When you keep the compass at C8, rotate it, it will exactly cut at point 8 dash. This could be P8 because the radius of the rolling circle and the center to the baseline remain same. There is the same value, that is 20 mm radius, right? So what I have done here is traced out all the points. When the rolling circle starts rotating the clockwise direction, it leaves some points, right? Now I am going to plot all the points which I marked here. Starts from P to P8 using free hand. So take 2H pencil. So whatever I have drawn here should be used with only 2H pencil. So now from point P, P2, P1, P1 to P2, P2 to P3, P3 to P4, P4 to P5, P5 to P6, P6 to P7, P7 to P8. By plotting that with free hand, you will get a curve which is nothing but the cycloid. So now with free hand, I am drawing with free hand, draw a smooth curve as much as smooth as possible. So draw a curve. So make sure that there is no zigzag on your curve, right? When you are confident enough that whatever you have plotted is a smooth curve, then change your pencil to H, from 2H to H or HB. Now draw a dark line passing through the points, right? So this is a cycloid curve, right? I have completed the curve, right? Fine. Now what is left out here in the question? It has been specified that draw tangent and normal to the curve 30 mm from the baseline. Which one is baseline? So here this one is rolling circle, right? This one is rolling circle or generating circle or generating circle. What about this bottom line? This is nothing but baseline or directing line or straight line, right? Now I am going to draw the tangent and normal to the curve 30 mm from the baseline. Where is my baseline? My baseline is here. Take a scale, right? Take a scale and assume this is my 30. Assume this is my 30. So that means it should be perpendicular to the baseline. Let me just start moving it till it intersects a point O. Till it intersects point O. My point is intersecting somewhere here. My point is here. So take 30 mm inverse scale and the scale should be perpendicular to the baseline. Start moving it. Somewhere it intersects. The zero coincides on the curve. Right. Now this point I am taking as 1. Right. Now take 20 mm inward compass, that is the radius of the rolling circle or generating circle. 20 mm inward compass, keeping at point 1 and cut an arc on the center of the locus. Right. And let me just take this point as 2. Right. So 1 to 2, so a thin line. Now I am going to draw a vertical line that is perpendicular to the baseline until it intersects the baseline. Draw a vertical line that is perpendicular to the baseline. Now this point as 3. I am going to connect the point 3 and 1. I am going to connect the point 3 and 1. A dark line I am going to draw. So this is nothing but the normal n dash. A line which comes within the profile is nothing but the normal. Now keep your protractor at point Roman number 1 in this manner. In this manner. Now take 90 degree somewhere here. Draw a line which should be perpendicular to the normal. This should be 90 degree. So this could be T dash. What I have done was, I have chosen a point that is 30 mm from the baseline, consider as point 1, then taken the radius of the rolling circle as 20 mm, cut an arc on the center of the locus. Then I drawn a vertical line which should be perpendicular to the baseline till it intersects the baseline, that is point 3. Then I connected the point 3 and 1, which was nothing but the normal. Then a line which is perpendicular to the normal is nothing but the tangent, which I have drawn here, that is should be 90 degree T dash. So I taught you in the conic curves, 3 things should be drawn as dark. What are they? Its profile or curve, second one is its normal, and the third one is the tangent. Rest all should be drawn as construction line. So as far as construction line is concerned, you should use only 2H pencil. See, as far as the object line or outline is concerned, you should use the pencil H and HB. So for curve, the tangent and the normal, you should use H or HB pencils. I have completed the profile. I have constructed the profile. Now what are the things are pending? Yeah, dimensioning is pending, and its notes. I mean, what n dash stands for, t dash stands for, and what is the dimension which I used and the scale which I have considered. Right. First, let me just complete the dimensioning first. Right. Here, I am going to mention the diameter of the circle. So, the notation pi denotes the diameter, right? So, let me just specify here itself. So, extend this line. This is nothing but the leader line. So, specify the boundary. Specify the boundary. This is the boundary, right? And which symbol denotes the circle? Pi denotes the circle. So, the total dimension is 40 mm. Therefore, you can write over the leader line dia 40. And I need to specify the circumference length of the circle to complete one full revolution of the rolling circle, which is 125.6 from point 8 till point A dash. Draw a horizontal line, that means parallel to baseline. This is extension line which I have drawn perpendicular to point 8 and A dash, and the line which I have drawn parallel to baseline is the dimensioning line. Now, fill the arrow should be 1:3 ratio, and at the center of the dimensioning line you should mention 125.6. Right. Now, what are the things pending here? So, I have mentioned the diameter of the circle, the circumference length, and 30 mm, which is from the baseline, 30 mm from the baseline. So, extend this line, and from here there is a point at Roman letter 1, extend here and draw their dimensioning line, right, and 30 over the dimensioning line, Now, dimensioning is over. Now, let's comes to the note. So, note what are the things should be written. So, first we will have to mention n dash. What n dash stands for? N dash stands for the normal. It represents normal. The guideline should be of 5 mm height. So, next the guideline of 5 mm, t dash represents tangent of the particular curve, tangent, right. Dimension which I considered, the dimension which I considered to construct the profile is in mm. So, I need to specify that all dimensions are in mm. All dimensions are in mm. Mm should be in the lower case, which is nothing but the small letter, right. Next, the scale. The scale which I use here. So, did I use any scaling, that means the enlarged scale or reduced scale? No, whatever the dimension given, the same thing I have taken it. That is the actual dimension I have considered here. Therefore, it is a true scale. So, 1:1 ratio. That is 1:1 ratio. Fine. So, now the profile which I drawn here, what is the name of this profile? So, draw a leader line. So, to specify it, draw a leader line, and over this guideline of 5 mm thick. So, now I am mentioning here cycloid, CYCLOID, cycloid. Fine. So, you check what are the things is missed. I have constructed the profile, then dimensioning, then note, everything I considered here. So, I have completed this drawing, right. Hope you all understood how to construct the special curve cycloid. Thank you.